Decided to do my presentation on the current societal issue of sexual assault and domestic violence. Throughout this presentation, I'll talk to you a little bit about the different trends, research findings, and local resources as it pertains to sexual assault and domestic violence. In order to grasp a true understanding of the information presented in this PowerPoint, we must first gain an understanding of the topic. Sexual assault takes on many different forms. It can include unwanted sexual touching, threats, inappropriate sexual contact, rape, and attempted rape. Any form of unprovoked or unreciprocated physical contact of a sexual nature can be deemed sexual assault. The definition of domestic violence, on the other hand, is violence perpetrated against one's spouse, common law spouse, or dating partner, typically done within the home. It can affect not only the intimate partner, but others exposed to the violence as well, such as the perpetrator or victim's kids. Trends: campus sexual assault. Since we're all college students, or at least exposed to the college lifestyle, I thought it would be a good idea to incorporate trends as it relates to the sexual assault that occurs on college and university campuses. College campuses are a hotspot for sexual assault of women ages 18 to 24. This is a vulnerable population of women that fall prey to assault by other students, visitors, and predators of college campuses. With this in mind, an interesting statistic found that over 22% of campus sexual assault is carried out by collegiate athletes, meaning that men's sports teams are involved in a fraction of campus assaults. Research also shows that student athletes are more involved in sexual misconduct than non-athletes. Another trend, relevant both on and off campus, is that most acts of sexual violence and assault go unheard of and unreported. Victims of these assaults rarely involve the police department or school authorities. Many campuses try to assist students by placing call centers throughout campus with emergency numbers that seek to prevent sexual assault from happening, but in general, there is a serious lack of resources used to hold perpetrators accountable when sexual assault does occur. Next, statistics and other trends revolving around both sexual and domestic violence will be discussed. Sexual assault statistics. Sexual assault is a global social problem occurring in almost all cultures and places around the world. Globally, approximately 33% of women have experienced sexual abuse from an intimate partner, and approximately 7% of those women have been abused by non-partners such as friends, family members, or acquaintances. Here in the United States, 19.3% of women have been raped or sexually assaulted, and 1.7% of men have experienced the same thing. A much higher percentage of women and men have experienced other forms of sexual violence, women at 43.9% and men at 23.4%, this being much higher than the global average previously mentioned for women at 33%. Sexual assault and domestic violence statistics. As previously mentioned, many cases of sexual assault go unreported, and those that do are often not convicted. For example, in the United Kingdom, they have one of the lowest conviction rates for sexual assault in Europe, resulting in only 7% being convicted for the crimes of either a misdemeanor or a felony charge. To put that in perspective, that result indicates that only 7 out of 100 sexual assault cases result in conviction. That is a staggeringly low number. Here in the United States, approximately 1% of rape convictions lead to felony charges, also a staggeringly low number. Of women affected by sexual and domestic violence, 25% reported psychological health problems, including anxiety, depression, and PTSD. These violent acts can leave victims with lifelong trauma and health problems. Sexual assault and domestic violence are some of the most unreported crimes committed in the world today. Victims of these acts of violence are not provided with the protection that they need within their home to stay safe. There are, however, numerous organizations that seek to help victims of abuse by providing them with resources. One local organization is the Alliance Area Domestic Violence Shelter. They offer a 24-hour hotline and provide a safe, emergency shelter for women, men, and children who have fallen victim to domestic violence, child abuse, and other violent crimes in the city of Alliance and surrounding areas, like here in North Canton. Since this presentation covered both domestic and sexual violence, I thought it would be best to include another more broad resource for victims of sexual assault as well. The Stark Help Center, which is an online resource, offers other resources including referrals to hotlines, mental health counseling, and medical assistance. They offer contact information for the Haven program, which provides medical assistance to victims of sexual assault and domestic violence, and they also provide contact information for the Compass Rape Crisis Services, which provides mental health counseling to survivors of rape and sexual assault. So that concludes my presentation on sexual assault and domestic violence. Thank you so much for listening.